George?
Not a damn thing. Week 1 is officially in the books, and we are now on to week dose.
We are on the week dose. But real quick, before we cover the NFL, and George can tell me how exciting everything is up in there in Philly, this, my friend, is the Eton XL, Ruckus XL to be exact. And if you guys are not up to date, George and I are doing another giveaway this month. And what we're looking for is the best video response that someone can come up with, right, George? That if they could, if they had a Eton Ruckus XL, what would they do with it? Now,
15 seconds or less.
15 seconds or less. Make it quick, everybody. You can also win. We're promoting the contest for Eton, and there'll be a link in the description below. You can also win an Eton Ruckus XL by tweeting at Eton Corporation your best tailgate photo. And you got to remember to put the hashtag Eton Tailgates in the tweet.
And with these videos, you can just attach them right here to our YouTube things. You don't need to try to email them to us or find a way to upload it to us. Just attach it right here to whatever video you want as a comment.
Yeah, attach that shit, because if you email it, I think a lot of people email us about shout-outs and stuff. We will never get them because we're just...
speaking of that, happy birthday, Cedric Jones.
Happy birthday, Cedric Jones. Yeah, a lot of times we have so many avenues, like emails and stuff, it's just hard to get a hold of us. So attach it to this video or any other video where we talk about it. Now, really quick, George, congratulations, my man.
Yeah, dude, it was an entertaining game. I don't see how. I mean, as a football fan, if you were watching it, everyone was. They were waiting for the unveiling of that offense, and I don't think the offense disappointed.
Right.
Chip Kelly thought they were disappointed because they didn't move fast enough. But I mean, I feel bad for the San Diego Chargers, dude.
Yeah, I mean, the San Diego Chargers are going. You know, obviously, everybody saw what Chip Kelly's offense was about. They had the Redskins on the back of their heels for the first half of the game. RG3 looked rusty. Alfred Morris looked rusty. The entire Redskins team looked rusty. And that was not the offense to look rusty. And I mean, that was not the offense to be going up against when your offense is only keeping the defense on the field the entire fucking game. They were just struggling. But,
well, and the Redskins don't get a break this week. They have to go to Green Bay and play at 1 o'clock.
So that's the thing. I mean, like George said, we just took a hit on the chin from the Eagles. Now we got to go to Green Bay. And what you were saying about earlier, the San Diego Chargers, they basically had a tremendous lead, blew it.
Yeah, they shit the bed. Phillip Rivers has a QBR in the fourth quarter of 7.
And now they've got to do the same thing that the Seattle Seahawks did, come all the way across the country and play an East Coast team. And
at 1 o'clock.
At 1 o'clock. And, you know, for anybody who's not familiar with that, when you're in the West Coast, when they're playing at 1 o'clock, that's like 10 o'clock in the morning in their time. And now you're in humid conditions. You know what I mean? So all of a sudden you're going to be running up and down the field. That's going to be very fucking interesting. Now,
well, what I find entertaining is those two-a-days for the Seattle Seahawks. Yes. Do you want to have any idea what time they started?
When?
10 a.m. Pacific time to get them ready for that Carolina game. So at least their coach had their head on right. But, I mean, they just barely got by the Panthers. And this week is the eyebrow match.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see if they actually go through with this. But for you guys who don't know, if you've seen those Madden commercials with Kaepernick and Russell Wilson sitting on the couch, the loser of this game is supposed to shave off an eyebrow. Now, we'll see. And what I mean by this game is the 49ers are traveling to the Seahawks for Sunday night. That's going to
be definitely the game of the week. Now, let's talk about some of the headlines that happened in the NFL. One of the big things was fucking Ndamukong Suh with his crazy hit. Sorry, Ramon, but your boy got fined $100,000, and I believe that was...
Yeah, he gets sued again.
Yeah. I mean, it's I mean, you know, yeah, I like that. I like that shit. I'm gonna have to bite that. I think that's right. I think that's right, man. I mean, you can end a fucking guy's career with a hit like that. And talking
about I was going for his hip. Dude, you are fucking 6'4", 6'5", and weigh 315 pounds. There's not a guy in the fucking NFL you should be hitting below the waist. There's not a guy you should be hitting in the waist, especially for the play is already by you, you asshole. Right. That guy wasn't going to make a play. He fucking cut the center. Right. What a douche.
Suh is just a dirty player, and I'm a fan of Suh because he obviously came from Nebraska, and everybody who knows me knows I'm a pretty big fan of the Cornhuskers. But I mean, it's
and cornholing.
And cornholing. Yeah, why not? I like cornholing. Do you guys like cornholing? Hey, fuck it. But you know what? They got to put a stop to him, man, because he just does some fucking raunchy shit out on the football field, man, and somebody's going to get really hurt.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you was going to be the Lions' biggest setback?
Suh. You know, Yeah, sue.
And I said themselves. They will fuck it up for themselves, and they're lucky to get away this week with a win.
Yeah, they're lucky to get away with a win. I mean, they look good, but the thing is, they're lucky that he did not get a suspension. You know, that's where they'll shoot themselves in the foot. He gets a fine. He can pay the fine. That's it. He's able to play next week. Now let's move on to Amendola.
Next time he will get suspended. Believe me, if he gets another cheap shot like that, they'll suspend him for a couple games. And the people who are complaining about 100,000, dock him a couple game checks.
Yeah, I agree. Now the Patriots, who also look like they struggled when they played in Buffalo this weekend, they got more worries again. Not only did
Amendola's out, and Vereen's on IR.
He's on the IR. I mean, Amendola, who's playing the slot, he kind of was going to be their man to take the place of Wes Welker, is out with a groin injury.
Yeah.
And, you know, all of a sudden, man, you know, Gronkowski's not back. He won't be back. Now the Patriots are looking at, I mean, Brady has no targets, you know?
Yep.
Brady has no targets, and he doesn't have, you know, I think we got into it with somebody about who's better, Brady or Manning. That'll be for another video. But, you see when Brady doesn't have the weapons and he doesn't have a defense to fucking back him up, it's hard. It's fucking hard.
And if anyone, go look what Manning had his first couple years out there in Indy. He never had a defense.
Oh, my God, dude.
But anyway, unfortunately for us who want to watch football on Thursday, that's where we're going to be getting to watch. The Jets travel to the Patriots, and this is the Jets' best shot at beating the Patriots this season.
It really is. I mean, obviously, this weekend, the Jets pulled out a miracle. I mean, it's a perfect example of one bad fucking play when somebody fucks it up for the team. The Jets capitalizing on a late field goal. They win the game. And horrible. And, you know, the Buccaneers, I forgot who the player was on the Buccaneers that pulled that shit.
It was a cornerback. The corner. Trust me, they were in his ass this morning.
Yeah. I mean, you basically lost it for your team. Just by just making a dumbass move, you lose it for the team. So now, you know, Geno Smith, I think he got the job done. I don't think he did anything spectacular. I wouldn't expect him to do anything spectacular this early in the season. I think a lot of these things, and a lot of people take too much on the first week of the season. Everybody's rusty. Everybody's feeling things out. People have the jitters, you know, and as the season progresses, you'll see more things, you know, you'll see who are going to be the front runners in their respective divisions. Now, Jacob, speaking of the NFC East, and since we're talking
Brandon Jacobs.
They, you know, and George and I were talking before the cameras turned on. Brandon Jacobs was quickly brought back into a New York Giants uniform because Tom Coughlin is the last person to fuck around. When that young...
No, he plays no games, dude. He's like, oh, cool, you don't want to hold on to the ball, David Wilson? We're probably not going to hold on to you.
We're probably not going to...
So, go ahead. Pack your bag just in case. Don't get comfy. Brandon Jacobs, come on, buddy.
Right. He's, you know, he's a workhorse. He holds on to the ball. This guy, you know, Wilson has dropped the ball several times. He did it in preseason. He did it last year. He did it twice in the opener, you know, and that hurt
Well, you know what the most pathetic thing about that is Dallas eked out a 5-point win and there were 10 million turnovers.
You know, I've got to say this, and we can both say this because we both probably are, well, people say it's because we dislike Dallas because they play in the NFCs, but it doesn't. I mean, the Dallas fans that were talking about Dallas's defense and how good they look, have you lost your fucking mind? I mean, seriously. You gave up
31 points and you had 5 turnovers. How do you give up? I mean, that's insane.
31 fucking points. Manning still torched your ass for 4 TDs and had fucking over 400 yards passing, and you're bragging about your defense. Dallas fans.
Well, yeah, because they forced 5 turnovers and only gave up 31 points.
See, this is the thing. You always have to credit the defense for causing turnovers. I understand that. But to some degree, you can credit the offense for sloppy play. And a lot of that was sloppy play on the Giants' part. It wasn't so much,
Let me tell you right now, ask the Redskins what it's like to go up against the team and you only turn the ball over 3 times. I don't think the Giants or the Cowboys want to give the Eagles 2 extra possessions ever,
no.
Let alone 5. If you give the Eagles 5 extra possessions, you could literally be down by maybe 21 to 28 points.
The Redskins got themselves in such a hole because the defense was on the top. I mean, the Eagles ran, 53 plays in the first half? Nobody had run.
Yeah, they ran more plays than the Redskins had yards.
Yeah, and literally, you know, no one had run that many plays in the first half since 1998, 15 years. So, yeah, you don't want to do that with the Eagles. Now, moving on to some other teams, the Steelers struggled, obviously. You know, Isaac Redman, they said, we'll be starting again in week 2. The Steelers have
I'm telling you, dude.
Huh?
Fuck the Madden curse. The new curse is going to be the curse of Tebow, shorty.
Yeah, George has this conspiracy theory, everybody. He says that if you played alongside Tebow, you're fucking doomed. you become
Pouncey tore 2 knee ligaments. Riley's cursing people out. Hernandez might go to jail. Watch.
And it's all happening because Tebow's not in the NFL right now. He's like, okay, if I can't play in the NFL, you guys can't play in the fucking NFL. You need to recognize that shit. I feel bad for Steelers fans. I mean, most people. I knew you were going to say that, but.
Why? They put it this way, because their argument would be like, we have 5 rings. Well, cool. Sit at home and polish those motherfuckers. The rest of us are going to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, they have 6 rings, actually, dude.
I don't give a fuck. They could have 2. That's all they ever talk. All you motherfuckers with Super Bowl rings that cheer for teams with Super Bowl rings, that's all you ever bring up when I start talking about how good the Eagles are. So I'm just, fuck it.
They're in trouble.
And all 6 of their rings.
They're in trouble. You know, they are definitely in trouble because now you lost your center. I mean, Big Ben is scrambling for his fucking life. He's got no supporting cast there. They don't have the downfield threat. They don't have a good running back. The defense is getting old. I mean, it's going to be, I think, a couple years.
It's an uphill battle.
Huh?
It's an uphill battle. Now, what I'm going to be most interested in is Ben going to hang out and try to be part of the rebuilding process? Are they going to bring in a young quarterback here in the next 2 to 3 years that he can, quote, tutor and try to turn him into a pro? No offense, that's the last guy I want to learn how to play ball from, but that's just me.
I just want to I want to toot my horn because lately I've tooted my horn a lot, and I just want to say that the important thing is we did our before the season started, we did our division, and I said the Cincinnati was going to win the division, okay? And right now Cincinnati is on top of the division.
They all have 1 loss. Homie.
I know, but Cincinnati, CI, in alphabetical order, they're on top of the division.
Well, you know what? I would expect nothing less from an expert analyst such as yourself.
Thank you, man. Thank you for acknowledging that. Everybody, I want to know, even though they're all 0-1, Cincinnati's sitting at the top of the division. Don't fucking sleep on my shit, okay? Now,
I'm going to tell you right now, I think out of all those teams that play that next week, I think Cincinnati, who does Cincinnati have?
Let's see.
I think Cincinnati's got a BYE.
They got a what?
A BYE.
They got a bye already?
It's looking that way. I do not see them here on my list.
Yeah, you're right. Cincinnati has
the Ravens play the Browns and the Steelers.
No, they play Monday night. The Steelers play Cincinnati Monday night.
Oh, that's right. My bad. That was further down on the list. I was working. That's going to be a fun game.
That's good. If I look at next week, the games that jump out at me, obviously, are going to be. Let's see. Let's look at this list. Definitely the fucking Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. That's going to be a great game. San Francisco and...
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you what. The 49ers Seahawks, that's where it's at. That's going to be the game of the week.
That is game of the week without a doubt. I think that'll be a great game. I'll tell you another game that I think is very interesting. No one's talking about, but this is going to be a very interesting game. And remember, I told you that. Dallas at Kansas City. Dallas is going into Kansas City to play against Andy Reid, who is very familiar with that team coming out of the NFC East.
They're going to lose that game.
Yes.
Did anyone see what Alex Smith did week 1? And I'm going to leave it at that because as all of you've known, last year I didn't like when Alex Smith got yanked. Yes, they went to the Super Bowl, but you can talk to Kevin. To me, that motherfucker is so efficient and he doesn't make mistakes. Yep. He's like the 2013, 2014 version of Trent Dilfer,
right.
But more athletic.
Now, when you see a team, going up against Kansas City, they're probably going to be, you know as well as I do, George, that Andy Reid runs usually a non-mistake type offense. They're pretty efficient. He's anal about that type of shit.
And here's the other thing. You want to know who ran the ball as many times as they threw the ball this past week?
Who?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
There you go.
And when he was doing that shit here in Philadelphia, they were dominating. And then all of a sudden he became in love with this let's throw the ball down the field. And I don't understand why when you had LaShawn McCoy in your backfield. Well, that motherfucker was on fire.
Well, he's got Jamal Charles in his backfield now, so you can expect a lot. That, to me, if you see Dallas shut down Kansas City on the defense side of the ball, if they don't allow the Chiefs to do shit offensively, then I think Dallas fans, it's safe to say you can start talking shit about how good your defense is.
Now, I'm gonna pick my 2 upsets for next week. I got the Rams going to Atlanta and winning, and I have the Cardinals winning at home versus the Lions.
Okay. My 2 upsets, I'm going to go with, I've got the Titans. No. I've got the Chiefs.
Whoa, buddy.
I've got the Chiefs beating Dallas.
To me, that's not an upset. I think the Chiefs are better, but I'm with you.
Yeah, I think, but on Vegas, it's an upset. Vegas is an upset. And I have, wow, man. I have got, let's see.
Don't you pick the fucking Chargers.
I got Buffalo beating Carolina.
That's an upset? I think you could literally flip a coin, but okay.
No, okay. I'll tell you what I'll go with. Okay, I'll go with Cleveland beating Baltimore.
Ooh.
Cleveland beating Baltimore.
Yeah, dude, I'll give you that if that ends up being the upset. Yeah. That would be the upset of more than just the week. Good.
Anyway, your thoughts, comments below, everybody. Don't forget about our contest that we're giving away. Make a video quick, and you can win a free Ruckus XL from the Eton Corporation. And if you want to go,
and just tell us what you would do with
what you would do with
15 seconds or less.
Because we're giving away free. It's a $200 value, Bluetooth enabled, 8-speaker boombox that's solar powered. Don't even need a cord. And on that note, George and I are out of here. Later.
Rotten.com.